Provision of bad debts and doubtful debts PPFD 36(1) Class 7A Indian in case of and provision for bad debts. Indian Bank 8.5 percentage and 10% of total income and 10.5% of rural advance bank. Financial activities allowed no reductions. Actual debt to where the actual debt is greater than the provision debts and total debts. The reduction on the excess 36(1) under 36(1)(7), where the professional bad debts, doubtful debts is allowed. No reduction for actual debt will be allowed. So Indian banks are public financial institutions, state financial operations, and state industrial development corporations. Then it will be 5% gross total income for 5% NBFC 5%. 36(1)(8) intentional skipped family planning 6161 revenue expenditure incurred by the company not other than associate for promoting family planning amongst employees or reduction in case of capital expenditure split into 5 equal investment by the previous year of the expenditure and unobserved capture the family planning are treated as unobserved expenditure. 36(1)(7) 7 947 3617 and 14 intentions kept SCT and CCT 36 1 50 and 16 CCT and SST paid so secure transfer tax and CCT paid in respect of taxable commodity transaction entered into the other occupation of business taxable deductible if the income of such a transaction is taxable under PGP. Sugarcane 36(1)(8) expense purchase of sugarcane purchase is equal to price fixed by government income by the cooperative society engaged in manufacture of sugar allowed. MTB losses 36(1)(7) mark to market loss especially prescribed to ICDS allowed. Examples following exemptions of MTM losses allowed. ICDC is required to be recorded inventory. ICDC requires the recorded inventory at the lower and the cost on traceable value. Inventory being unlisted securities are listed but not regulated quoted at RCS registered security exchange. Value at the actual cost initially recognized by ICDS. Inventory being listed companies value at the lower of the actual cost of IRDR. Section 70 of General Reduction. Expenses other than specifically allowed section 36-37 shall be allowed in reduction provided. No capital expenditure, no personal expenditure laid wholly exclusively for business and profession. Explanation. Expenses of expenses for the profession for purpose of the purposes of public law. Not deemed to be business and profession, hence is allowed as hafta, bribe, secret function. Is not allowed. Expenses with respect of CSR 135 companies had not deemed to be a business profit as well disallowed. Expenses 34 is allowed. CSR expense and natural discovery 36 are allowed under the respective section. Some pay 35(1)(3). Expenditure purpose of the offences and for which laws deemed to be always have been included such expenses in India and outside India. Benefits of the person in violation of any law, rules and regulation guidelines. So these are exceptions and central direction. So the benefits of any person violation of any law, rules and reduction guidelines, compound of offense of any law, India, outside India, are for the purpose of prohibited by law deemed to be always included. No reduction in respect of advertisement of any sovereign, voucher, tract, pamphlet, are published by a political party. Section 37 to be. However, advertisement by the political party electoral trust made by the company can be allowed as reduction 80 GB as per the SSC allowed by 80 GB. Not premium paid by insurance policy are allowable. 37 freebies of medical practitioner by pharmacy allied sector industry. It is prohibited by law, hence not allowed, and expenses in hands and other pharma companies. It is taxable in the hands of medical practitioner under PGBP and income from associates in other cases. Commissioner by diagnostic center and doctors are referred patient by diagnostic disallowed. CIT, CAP scan diagnostic centers. So that is disallowed. And no source of funds from which the expenditure is made is not relevant. National Corporate Development Corporation. Cost of production incurred in amendment of field allowed performance limited. Treatment of cost of construction of roadway railways under the Built Operation Transfer BOT agreement where the ownership is not vested in the such development. Such cost is amortized even prior to the BOT agreement after the excluding time of construction. Special point and reduction of respect CSR activity section 83 donation and settlement. Swachh Bharat Ocean Clean Ganga Fund consideration CSR spend cannot be claimed as reduction in ATG therefore reduction in ATG. PM relief fund set up by central government and PM CARES fund consider CSR spend. However, the associate can claim to reduction as ATG. Summary of interest and penalty. penalty for infrastructure law and penalty law paid under GST law. Disallowed. Penalty nature of compensation or by a breach of contract and other course of business. Example, Madhya Pradesh government charges higher input tax on the goods sold to other MPs, such as the damage paid to state government for defective construction of flyover allowed. Interest paid on normal banks not allowed. Interest paid on other than paid under another law under the act. Compensatory nature allowed, penalty nature disallowed. Interest paid and the PF Act 16% to 16% and 12% compulsory and 4% penalty. Compensatory facility and 4% penalty. Disallowed. Interest paid under the Income Tax Act 1934 or disallowed. Fees paid under 234 G of Income Tax Act is not interest and penalty. Interest on bank loan payment of advance. Interest on bank loan for payment of advance tax is allowed. Tax audit fees and income tax are allowed. Litigation expenses with respect to IT cases allowed. Summary of reduction expenditure related to the issue of shares and debentures. Expense allowed, expense disallowed. Preliminary expenses, issue of share 35D allowed, expense allowed. Issue of bonus shares allowed. Issue of bonus debentures allowed. Expense allowed, and expense incurred in the issue of convertible debentures CIT portals allowed. Expense allowed. Public is IPO allowed. Issue of public shares, right shares not allowed. Fees of enhancement of authorized capital not allowed. Expense of IPO, expense of IPO which could not be materialized due to non-clearance from SEBI is not allowed. Important case laws. CIT Orient Cermatics and Industry Limited. Gain on the glow sign board display and outlet, no capital revenue expenditure. Millennia Developers recognition fees paid by the municipal authority to recognize and aviation from the yearly approved construction plan as an ongoing project, no reduction as same treatment as compound fee. CIT for the expenditure on grant of ISO to I-1000 certificate, not intangible asset revenue expenditure around 37. Shanti Bhushan CIT SSC claimed hard surgery cost of the cost of reduction and the current repairs of plant at 31. Expense only for 37. The Supreme Court said that if the asset it would be shown in the balance sheet. However, it's not a plant, so the expense is not directly into the plant machinery. Hence, it's not deductible. 37. 18. Neelavati others. Payment to police legally amount to bribe hence allowed. Payment to Guddas and preconditional measures are not understood to not such a distribution still illegal disallowed. Dr. T. Query CCID. Can loss from the illegal business be allotted to set up the profit of the legal business? Yes, it can be. It can be offset. And this is not the case of business expenditure, but the case of business loss. Expense allowed and the disallowed. Expense allowed and disallowed. Website development expense allowed. Contribution to school for employees, children studying school. Contribution to school as children's employees allowed. Membership fees and also allowed. Expenditure paid and the recovery agent for realization matters allowed. Repayment of purchase of computer software, loyalty allowed. Expense in no project and abandonment which project is related existing business CAT village allowed. It's a provision of loss of subsidy law. Provision of diminishing value loss allowed. Provision for uncertainty. Provision of uncertainty, liability not allowed. Salary paid to direct in excess of limit under the company not allowed. Higher period expenses not primarily not allowed. Expenses of new project which is abandoned of such project related to new business not allowed. Which is abandoned such projects related to new business not allowed. Tax surcharges, deferred tax provisions not allowed. Any loss from theft, docility, embezzlement, etc. is deductible if it is an incident to carry on the business. Otherwise, it's not deductible. Example: loss of cash theft of which takes place when the cash is withdrawn from the bank and taken to admin office allowed. Section 40 amount not deductible. Following amount is not deductible under the PGAP. In the case of Asasi, any interest, royalty, FTS, and other some chargeable under the Act, which is payable outside India and India. The non-resident in the non-resident or the foreign is not deductible PGAP. In the case of following amount shall not be deducted under to non-resident not allowed. In the case of TDS deduction and TDS has not been deducted allowed. After deduction not paid not allowed. Provided that when such a case TDS deducted in subsequent year or has been deducted on the previous year paid after due date and the due deduction year is paid. Further, when there is an assessee is failed to deduct the TDS but not deemed to be an assessee in default, under this first provision 21 shall be deemed to be assessee or deducting TDS which paid or deemed furnishing return. Outside India, if anything, interest, royalty, FTS, or any sum payable under the Act which is payable. In the illustration, payment of date of taxable person 1 date of reduction TDS non-deducted and TDS and due date of TDS total and actual payment 34. So here initially not allowed because the TDS not deducted. So in this deducted previous 24 on the date of payment, which yes we can deduct the TDS, we can claim the expenses. Relevant case law CIT Marth Limited and the non-touchable collects the order of customer on India and charges commission. For a commission is not taxable in India, hence no TDS required where the payment is made to such a INR. Hence 40 AI could not be evoked and disallowed against payments on a non-resident TDS. 30% sum payable to resident on which TDS is detailed under the TDS be deducted or the after reduction not paid before 31st later on 31st 30% sum payable to resident on TDS or active TDS not be deducted not paid before the filing of returns. So not actions are applicable. Provision that in the case of TDS deducted subsequent year has been deducted in the previous year paid after due date 30% allowed and previously paid. The paid further as assessee failed to deduct TDS not deemed to be assessee. The for the provision of 201 and deemed to be assessee and the deduct of TDS and paid sum of date of furnishing and return to 131. Section 201 a consequence of failure to deduct TDS extra. An assessee has not deducted TDS and any paid TDS after deducted for the person deemed to be assessee and provision of such assessee shall not be deemed to be assessee in default for furniture return 139 for taking in account of some for the computation of return of income and tax paid thereon. Furnish certificates of the account and prescribed for assessee in default able to pay interest 1% per month a part of their date in which the tax is deductible and treatable. The interest shall apply in the case of assessee not deemed to be default. Concept clarity check the professional charges of the consultant include GST shows separately. Rupees 1 lakh the tax was not be deducted and GST and portion of payment. Where it is allowed, the CBA charges GST amount is shown separately. This is no need to deduct TDS. Therefore, disallowance under 40 is not attractive. Consideration of tax paid up to non-resident for specific services or equalization levy is deductible as per the Chapter 8 of the Finance Act and subsequent levy for not consideration paid payable to non-resident for the specific service on which equalization levy is deductible as per the Chapter 8 of the Finance Act 2016. Such levy is not to be deducted for or after deducted not paid before on the provision in such cases where the levy is deducted or subsequent year or has been deducted on the previous year or paid after the due date. Such sum was previous year the levy is paid not payment to NR and e-commerce operations are allowed under 41 year. Income tax relief under the not allowed deduction. If you mentioned relief under 90A, 90A, 91 is not allowed for deduction. Tax including such as and GST is allowed expense 37 subject to the section 43B. GST refund taxable net of amount refund to customer. Income tax refund not taxable because it's not deductible action on the payment of such because no deduction when the payment is made. Interest on income tax refund taxable under income sources. Some paid on account wealth tax. Some paid on account wealth tax. Any amount paid by way of royalty fee, license service fee, any other charges of delivery exclusive the state government and state government. Salary paid outside India or non-resident shall be allowed only if the TDS has been collected and TDS has been paid within prescribed limit. If there is even 1 day delay in the deposit, TDS are allowance forever. Salary in resident is covered under 40A, 1A, whereas salary to non-resident covered in section. Any payment of employer contribution to PF other for an established benefit of employees is allowed unless effective arrangement has been made to ensure the TDS director and the payment made from the fund which is acceptable in the day. PF withdrawal before 5 years and excess is amount gratuity amount is acceptable. Any tax actually paid by the employer refer to section 10 CC. This also employer enforces pays tax for non-monetary repercussions extend to employee. In the case of LLB, following amount shall not be allowed to deduct. Remuneration of non-working partner. Remuneration of non-working partner firm following shall not be allowed as deduction. Remuneration of non-working partner allowed. Remuneration working partner or interest to another part not on a partnership did not allowed in the remuneration to working partner interest to the partner for a period not covered in the partnership did not allowed interest to any partner exceed 12% per annum not allowed remuneration of any other partnership in exceed book profit remuneration book profit on first rupees 3 lakhs on the case of loss and the balance of book profit higher than 51.5 lakhs 90% of the book profit or 60% of book profit. In the case of 10 lakhs of book profit, allowed remuneration 2.4 lakhs. Partnership represent a capacity behalf of the partner also represent example on HUF is a partner form, HUF representing HUF is acting as a partner of form on behalf of HUF. Interest paid to section 40B applies. Such person otherwise than a partner is representative capacity no. Such person is a partner representing capacity yes. Such a partner is a representative of HUF yes. Interest paid to then is available if not. Tax, taxability in hands of partner firms. Section 10 to E. The partner shares the total income on the firm with will be exempt in the hands. Remuneration interest received from the firm the taxable in the hands of partner under section PGB to extent which are allowed as a reduction in the hands of firm. Section 76 carry forward losses case of change in the constitution form. And UD form the loss does not include depreciation and carry forward depreciation. Proportional share of retired decreased partner cannot be carried forward. Note the book profit means BGBP income plus remuneration, not interest to the partner deducted if any. Note of this calculation of book profit. No adjustment for profit losses and however there's depreciation and amortization. Depreciation has been detected because of section 32 applies. Chapter 6 deduction shall not be added. Interest paid shall not be taken back. Only remuneration to be added back. All the income and capital gain, interest, and rental income, associated which will not fall under the head of VGP should be excluded. Remuneration shall be allowed under the income partnership head. Whenever either benefit and the amount of remuneration of each partner or lay down the manner of qualification or remuneration. Work statement the remuneration up to the paid on the allowance of 40B or on the under section 40B or of the partners of mutual agreement. It does not consider to be specific amount, hence remuneration shall be allowed on the case. Primary consideration of payment remuneration interest payable only for working paper and payable only to the authorized partnership payable only for the period authorized by the partnership limit of the payment as related to the book profit. Interest payable only to the working partner payable if authorized by the partnership and 12% only precondition payment. The interest generally in the capital account, however, if the partner deemed allowed interest on current account, loan account as well, then it's allowed under the subject to 12% simple interest per annum. The firm paid interest on the capital account to the partner 1 lakh. The firm received interest in drawing from the partner 30,000. Firm paid interest on 1 lakh and firm received interest on the drawing from partner 30,000. Will let us know that received from the received interest is taxable and PGBP interest carbon tax reduction. Interest paid to the partner deduction of 40B. Remuneration includes salary, bonus, commission, remuneration, whichever is involved. Changes in remuneration, making changes in the effective date, prospective in the case of AOP or by any person, any payment of members for interest remuneration is allowed. In the interest paid to the AOP, BOP to any members, but 80,000 is paid interest to the AOP, BOP 60,000 on example 90,000 is allowed. And the person of the member behalf or benefit of the other person. Interest paid to section 40B. Such a person otherwise and a member of a representative. Such person or members of a representative gas is allowed. Persons who represent HUF gas is allowed. Important case law, palm gas service center section 40A IA that tracks not only the payments made but also when the amount deducted recorded in the books. Because TD is deducted from when the recording entries pass and actual payment is made with whenever is whichever is earlier. CT rate is the partner section 40 is applied in the case of remuneration of working partner where the same is compared to 40 if the remuneration is paid within the ceiling limit of 40B, 40B1 then the recourse of the provision of 40B1 cannot be written. Section 40 expense reduction for 40A provision. Assessing income expenditure when the payment is made on the matter of specific person, AO is provision that The excise expenses agreed are reasonable. This regard to the FMV and goods and service excessive of expenditure and allowed. Note amount is around 48 is however taxable the income of the head of recipient. 48 is applicable for with respect to expenditure not for income with the goods worth of 2 lakhs sold for 1.5 lakh. You cannot add 50,000 as income. Present was a relative in the company forms EOB achieve. Director of a relative and partner of a relative may be members are relative therefore achieve members are relative therefore. The individual has a substantial interest in business and profession. As a relative company for IOB, you have a substantial interest in business and professional assessing any director, partner, member, relative, also this expenses not deductible. So, much your properties, much your director, partner, much substantial interest with you. And partner has mentioned relative substantial interest case of company having a time during the previous year greater than 20% of EP. In other cases, retain more than 20% of EP. Relative means spouse, brother, sister, any suddenly resident. Section 3 disallowance in case of expenditure made in cash. Section 40A3 any expenditure or payment of aggregate made in the prescribed hours in a day otherwise than the account pay check or account pay check drawn on bank account pay bank draft electronic clear system prescribed modes as a credit card UPI IMPS RDS exceeding 10,000 is allowed in the case of payment made by for applying, hiring, leasing and good carrying. The above limit is increased for rupees 35,000 per day in a single person. In the case where the taxable liability is subsequently paid in cash, 48.3 reduction is made with the previous year with respect to liability and subsequently during the previous year person and therefore is made in cash as subject and deemed PGBP in this year. Note the payment made in the cross check or bearer check shall be disallowed at like cash. For this section to apply expenditure and payment should exceed rupees 10,000. The payment of 27,000 against 3,900 shall not attract and give. Rule 680 certain cases NA3 is not applicable. Payment to RB, any bank, SB, Observing Bank, and Operative Bank, and Land Mortgage Bank, Primary Agriculture Credit Society, Primarily Credit Society, LTC. Payment to government and under the rules framed by government, such payment is required to make legal cash. Payment by letter of credit arrangement through bank, telegraphy transfer through bank, a bank book adjustment on the bank's account, bill of exchange payable by the bank. Payment made for adjustment against amount of liability securities and the goods supplied and the service rendered by account. Payment of purchase of agriculture produce of agriculture husbandry including livestock, meat, hides and skins or dairy farming and poultry farming. Produces of fish or fish products of horticulture agriculture to the cultivator grows and produces in other place. Not the producer fish and product. The fish and fish products include other marine products like shrimps, prawns, catfish, crab, lobster, etc. The producer of fishes, which is included besides of freshman, the salesman of the freshman who started the fish caught by the fisherman and sells to the exporter. Payment to producer dairy farm is also covered in the rule. Payment of producer for producing of products and manufacture and process without the aid of power and cotton what is except the payment made to village town the south by not as it is in persons societies and carrying about purpose of village and town except payment to employees and hire that represent retirement retrenchment resignment as a charge of death exempted on account of gratuity retrenchment similar terminal benefit in cash on aggregate less than 50,000 is secured. All American payment by way of salary and term employees after deducting TS provided such employee is temporarily posted for 15 days and placed under the normal place of duty or ship. Such employee does not have any books or accounts on the books bank in the ship or ship. Bank holiday due to strike is not allowed. Payment made to the agent who is required to make payment in cash for the goods in behalf of the goods such as the agent buying for actions freely. The payment made by authorized dealer mining law money changer against the purchase of foreign currency was other cost of business. Summary banks, government set up better net of data securities, agriculture purpose, which the village town without bank purchase products without the aid of power. Cotton to employees on retirement less than 50,000 employee outside normal pays 15 days. Agent with the CCD expenses and money exchanges. Notwithstanding anything contained in the law or contract, where the payment is made in account pay check or account pay draft is used are using ECS Order that the expenditure may not be reserved under Section 40A3. No portion shall be allowed as a raise and split and split a grant. The payment is not permitted on contract for the payment of non-cash. Provision of the payment of gratuity to the employer, retirement termination disallowed, provision of the payment of the sum to the gratuity fund, and the payment of gratuity has been became payable in the previous year allowed. Um, Yeah, where the provisions allowed and no further reductions actual payment where the provisions are allowed actual further by allowed under 36 while the provision of gratuities under the actual still is allowed the fund is unapproved and the employer has to fund when payment to employer to a fund other than approved gratuity fund recognized profit fund approved by the annual supernatural fund pension scheme under 80 CCD is allowed. If such fund is not approved by the recognized amount shall be allowed. MTL loss is expected loss no reduction expected to loss under 1 and 18 respective of the accounting treatment. For example, few accounting loss has been disallowed as income tax impairment of loss on fixed asset MTL losses made on derivative instrument MTM and losses due to the purpose of unfavorable outcome pending to an plus. The following section portion of payment of EF superannuation fund and budget payments. Section 4, 36, 36, 1, 36, 40A, 40A, 7, 40A, 9, 40B3, 36, 1, 4, and 36, 5. Section 269, S3, 269, 271 DE, chapter 18.